I was a local news anchor in Los Angeles, and being a local news anchor is like having your own personal video ad on every single night. You know, it was very fun for a number of years to get to meet the full range of the male species, and I sat back and looked at it, and looked at what I did right, and mostly what I did wrong. I think writing the boyfriend test was cathartic for me because it helped me process and intellectualize something that kind of happened instinctively or reactively over a number of years. But then I spent an entire book devoted for women readers called The Girlfriend Test, How Dateable Are You? For women to look at some of their issues. And ultimately what we're hoping for is to have some kind of intimate connection, to not fantasize about how things could be, but really clear about what we want, what is achievable, and to be able to communicate that in a kind way. I found 100 men who had been either living with or married to a woman for at least 6 months. So I eliminated the commitment-phobic men who just complained about all the women out there. And I got men and said, why did you choose this one? And why didn't you call the rest of us back? Okay, so what was it that was special? What did she do right? So when I got to the area of sexuality, I was really excited because we live in very confusing times. We live in a time with so many sexual taboos and at the same time a highly sexualized media. So we're getting these images and ideas in our TV shows and in our movies, and yet the double standard is alive and kicking in our culture. So it didn't make sense to me, and I couldn't wait to get into the heads of my 100 men to find out really what men want from a woman, because we all know they want a virgin who's a whore. So, so what I discovered was really disappointing, is that the men haven't gotten it any more figured out than we have. So I left scratching my head and thinking about what the heck would I write for women. And then it hit me. I understood the male paradigm, which is this. Whatever their rule is, they're really committed to it, and they own it. And they're looking for a woman to fit in with that. And I thought, that's what we're doing wrong. We're out there trying to figure out, is he a playboy? Well, if I play him hard to get with this playboy, will I be like the different one? If I go with this guy who's like this sweet, loving, he probably never gets it early, I'll give him early. You know, we're trying to base our sexual needs on how to catch a guy. How about figuring out what's right for us and finding the right male to fit in our slot? Pun intended. Women need to stick to their guns, because I think the most damaging thing to women is false advertising. Whether they're pretending to be loose, or one day they go for this total Casanova and think, oh, it's a crazy one-night stand, oh, and then the next day he comes to find out is friends with their dream man, and they talk locker room talk about her. So you know what? Figure out what you are, be proud of it, whatever you are. There's a lot of information in here, of course, about how to do it safe, how to do it healthy, how to do it emotionally healthy as well as physically healthy. So those are all your considerations while you're making your rules for yourself. But make your rules and stick to it, and you'll find a guy there.